On several occasions, I've had the lovely Susan Giggler Brown in my studio, and she has a lot to say about how health can be affected by not laughing. And good health can be achieved by doing lots of laughing. Now, she was recruited by the government recently to go up north of Queensland and do something very special. Susan, would you tell us about it?
Yes, the government invited me to go to a particular town in Queensland to sort out some problems in the office. And it was so amazing because when I arrived there, first of all, the boss was a little reluctant to hire me as a form of getting people to laugh because he thought it was a little bit left brain for his liking. However, he was willing to do that by the encouragement of his assistant, and I walked into their office expecting 40 people to turn up. And guess what? Prior to me arriving, they'd had a big dispute within the office, and all the Indigenous people left the office. They were upset over things that were said and whatever, and people had hurt feelings. So unbeknownst to me, this had occurred just prior to me arriving.
So instead of 40 people, how many were there?
One.
You can't run a laughter session on that, can you?
No. So here's the boss, by the way, who I'm wanting to impress with laughter, his assistant, myself, and this one person. So the boss also was kind of really edgy. He was wanting to not sit here and laugh. He wanted to get out there and solve the problem in his office. So I encouraged him to stay, and lo and behold, we sat down and I just told them true laughter stories, true testimonies of laughter. And guess what? We started to laugh, and laughter being contagious, one by one, the white people, for want of a better word, came into the office one by one, and the Indigenous elder who worked there, he hopped in his car and drove all around and picked the Indigenous people up, brought them back to the office, and out of a possible 40, 38 remained. Only 2 walked out.
Well, you started off with 1 and you end up with 38 because it was so positive.
Yes, and laughter's so contagious, you see. So I then did what we call forgiveness laughter, where it is I look into your eyes and I say, I forgive you and I forgive myself, and then you laugh, and then you move to the next person. Well, that broke all the barriers. And from then on, here were these Indigenous and white people who had been feuding hours before, were now embracing, laughing, cuddling each other, crying laughter in tutus.
So, you got them into tutus. No doubt about you, Susan.
And the boss and the head boss, he said to me, Susan, if I hadn't have seen this for myself, I wouldn't have believed it. He said, this is absolutely astounding. And we took great photos with everybody in props and tutus, and they've since emailed me saying since that their work ethics have changed, their attitudes changed, and they're getting on really, really famously. Isn't that awesome?
Problem solved. Absolutely amazing. Through laughter. Susan, stay around. I want to talk more about your laughter odyssey, shall we call it, around the world.
Oh, thanks, Graham.